isn't there supposed to be some sort of buzz or excitement that certain people who have done the country proud in different fields, it could be entrepreneurship, community work or service, paid or unpaid, about this awards? But at the moment, lots of people just seem to think, one of those things. So those who are giving out this honor, those who, maybe the honors committee, if they are, shouldn't they have a way of getting feedback? And if they do, one wonders, what is it? What kind of feedback do they actually get from all of this? Because some think is 60 or above 50% not too excited about it, the country.
Well, the question, I will rather locate all of this within how things are at the moment. What is it that anybody is giving a buzz about? If you know, tell me. There's a lot of pressure. What perhaps, I suppose, may well have helped the process is if there was some conscious and sustained visibility engagement in connection with it. That there's a discussion perhaps on channels today, tomorrow there's a forum on it. First, the significance of national honors for our children, so they have the knowledge and information. Those being honored the criteria and the circumstance. What follows with it? Because besides the medal, there are other things. So that element of public education becomes part of what you take with you. And it becomes part of what will inspire you to want to earn a national honor. It used to be the norm that with the honor, there are certain things you are deemed to be above or beyond, and there are privileges that go with it. That element of public education ought to come, because that's how you nurture a new a replacement generation. You come home, you remove your shoes, your child takes it, dusts it if it's dusty, and keeps. The other one walks in, chats, buzzes around. A pattern exists. Over time, you travel out and you're coming. You say, oh, Andrew, have this. You're always very diligent about ensuring that the parlor is not littered. And nobody is entirely surprised. That way, a culture of XYZ leads you to this, becomes part of your household. And then your objectivity also becomes clear in connection with it. But where you don't have that, where, for instance, what you give is money to Andrew, you are commercializing service. And let's go back and see where, in fact, if I think by my first article in The Guardian, even before I joined the Guardian editorial board, that was 92, was titled In the Name of Patriotism, after Babangida gave out that money to the sportsmen. But even before then, under Shagari, if you recall, Ekweme had to travel to the camp to promise Shegu Odegbami and the rest of them, oh, will you win this? We'll do a lot for you. Shegu himself confessed on TV at some point that when they were given, I think it was Festac houses, those players, that after that they realized they should play safe. I'm bet a little money, I have a house, I don't want to get a leg injury. The culture of honor and reward for service is first of all an honor to wear your school jersey, to wear your national color. But as money began to come into it as a dominant factor, the dominant indicator,
if you allow me,
patriotism began to decline with it.
If you allow me, I think that's been the argument of some Nigerians. They say, well, quite frankly, without mentioning names, but again, you mentioned one, some have actually done well for themselves, men and women, and you could actually verify them. These are verifiable acts that they have done. But some also wonder, why is it that when you look at it, that you look at the list, you look at some names and some individuals, these are just contractors of the government, or maybe praise singers of government, to the extent that you really can't pinpoint anything that they have done. And when we look at the whole essence of this, which they say was established through an act as far back as 1964, it means that the whole essence of this particular act has been subdued by what you're trying to expatiate, saying that, well, we're trying to put some monetary gains into all of this. But again, how can we bring it back to that pedestal where we can now look at it and say, this is what we crave for as a people?
I'll touch on the matter of not knowing why, for instance, so-and-so is on the list. I'll cite an example. 2004, I think, 2004. I was working with a minister who took a proposal to the president. I don't want to give you a lot more detail than that, but the point is that that year there was calendars and almanacs and diaries were not produced by most ministries, and there was also a deliberate assault on the Christmas goods, ramen things, all that money. Something close to 3.2 billion, or is it 2.2, was saved because of that initiative. But how did it happen? The person involved outsourced, got the thought, secured all the data, put the total together, and said, Mr. President, this cannot fly. Because in all these ministries, they are owing people their leave allowances, etc. This diary comes out in March. In any case, nobody hangs ministry diaries. And so now the president said, fine, he overruled. Now, assuming a name like that appeared on the national honors list, you and I wouldn't know why or how. And probably is a minister that's known to walk around a lot, or is a very quiet and decent person, it doesn't matter. But the fact that that kind of national, so that somebody will take the trouble to ascertain a drain pipe, confirm it's a drain pipe, block it, and not ask for visibility. Sir, please, even if a memo will come, I don't want my name on it, but this won't help us. Now, you find a name on the list, you say, is it not this man who is always at parties? Or is it not this man who I don't like? So that's why I'm a little reluctant to jump forward. Because when you speak of national service, perspective is an issue. You've mentioned contractors. Fine. I don't know, maybe they're actually contractors. Maybe also the other element I mentioned, that in the process of a transparent engagement, there are interests that are breaking from time to time. And if you look at the character of politics since 1999, it's been consistent. PDP got into power. What was the opposition? PDP. It had absolute majority in the National Assembly and was the strongest force against all its own bills for a simple reason. The ideological divide is between the Puritans and others who thought that this thing is let's go and make a kill and go home.